So today I'm going to be talking to you about the MV Augusta F4 racing bike. This is for use in the Pro Circuit series or the open class in the game Ride. I'm going to be using the ps4 to play it. Someone's asked me to review this bike. If you just have a look around the bike, it's a very good looking bike, some stills just before we get into the actual gameplay footage. As you can see, it's quite quick off the start. In with the pack going down towards the corners. These Pro Circuit bikes are extremely powerful. This is over 200 brake horsepower. It's very hard to control going into the corners. You have to literally come off the accelerator and very hard on the brakes to get it into the corners. The bikes are very closely matched in this class. As I said, I just picked the MV Augusta just because I like the paint job pretty much. I know that's not a great way to pick, but I mean, I just think it's a very good looking bike and lovely paintwork. As you can see, if you get the braking right, it's very, very good in the corners. Very fluid in the corners. You get some lovely shapes, some lovely knee down on the corners as you go through. It's just hard to keep it, as you can see, like on the racing line. It's such a powerful bike. It looks majestic going around the corners. But as I said, it's just a lot of power in it. As you can see, I'm finding it hard to keep it in the race line using all of the track, touching the wall a couple of times there occasionally. But the other bike's still being able to keep up with me. As you can see there, just the rear up on the front wheel there, as I'm heavily braking on the front brakes. And as you accelerate out of the corner, front wheel always comes up every single time. So you can't just slam on the throttle. You need to ease into the throttle coming out of the corners, otherwise you will high side the bike and end up scraping down the pit wall. As I said, it's a great bike. Do enjoy riding it in the game, but the Pro Circuits are very hard. There's a lot of endurance races, so longer lapped races rather than the normal 3 laps that you'd get in the Ride game. And the other bikes, they're very closely matched, very hard to put a big lead in and hold it. As I said, you make any slip on these bikes, as you can see, they're taking it very wide on that corner, and the other bikes are very close behind. You can't get a big lead in this Pro Circuit series on these bikes. They're very fun to ride, as I said. Always great in the open class because the other bikes have not got a chance at all in catching you when you're on one of these. But as I said, you need to master this. This took me quite a few attempts to master using this bike. It's just so different to the other bikes on the game. Obviously, these are the replicas of the race bikes that are being used in World Superbikes, British Superbikes, MotoGP, them type of bikes there. So these are very different bikes than you'd get on every day. As you said, look, I'll take these chicanes extremely slow there, because very unforgiving this bike. If you get it wrong, you'll end up into a wall and having to use one of your rewinds. That's if you've got any left. But as I said, they slide all over the place. You've got to be very very careful with the throttle. You can't just slam it on like you do with other bikes. You have to watch redlining this, because seriously, if you do redline it, especially coming out of the corner, you'll get the wobble of the back wheel on high side. It had a bit of a slide there, as you can see coming out. You've got to be very careful, very easy on the throttle. Hello fans, I'm not sure about that shot, just into the fans there. So I've started to open up a lead now. Just you know, I have to admit, I go into corners very fast and heavy on the brakes. That's just my style of riding. But as you can see there, if it goes wrong, you know, you hit the red and whites, and then coming off of them is extremely slippery. Same again there. I'm trying to use all the track. As I said, I haven't quite totally mastered this bike yet, but this is a good week playing on this bike and getting used to it. Yeah, again, extremely wide. I couldn't even touch paint with a wall there. But so they're very fun. Once you get used to riding these, they're very fun. They're very hard to go back to your normal bikes on ride after playing with this bike. But there's a lot of different choice. As I said, I only picked the MV Augusta because of the colour and the actual shape of it. But the Honda looks fantastic. The BMWs look fantastic. This also went with my levers as well. It's a bit of a Power Ranger way of saying it, but I did like it. It went with my levers that I normally use on this red, white, and blue for the British flag. and this is me just coming into up to the finish now. But as I said, trying to push it on the last lap, seeing if I could get as much as I could out of this bike. There you go, and that's it, over the line for the finish. I hope you like this video. The bike's well worth getting, but I will be trying other bikes in this class.